Okay, everybody, so we just got our Cedar Elite 4 to 5 person sauna from Blue Wave delivered, and what I can tell you is it don't look like it was delivered too bad. Blue Wave, I've sent them several emails, asked to ask questions, stuff. Their customer service is very, very poor. If I had to base buying anything on their customer service, I would not be a customer. So this is box one being open because we're gonna have trouble getting it down there in the box, I believe. And it's the whole door. One thing I'm noticing is, we might be able to get it a little lighter because it's probably the front and the back, and just be careful going down. But we'll have to see how it goes here. The video is not really about getting in location, it's about seeing how it is to set up. So anyways, we just opened the box over there, took the foam off the top. Now we're going to stand it up. Says it's cedar, might be. The sealer looks a little different, but we'll see. Anyways, we lifted the piece up and it is a little bit smaller. I think we can navigate that down there, hopefully. We got the back piece here too, so it's about the same size. Already has the heating elements in place, the ledge for the bench, the control panel, which I kind of wish the control panel was on the outside because of it would have been heated. Now I just got to figure out, I see the plug that we got there. It's at a 110 20 amp dedicated, so we may have to figure out just to make sure it is 110, but we don't want to deal with the glass going downstairs, so we might set that aside and then try to get the back end down first. If that fits, we'll know for sure. Otherwise, it'll definitely become an outside sauna. Back wall down. To make this a little bit easier, we're actually going to pull the door, open it up, pop the hinges here, and then we're going to pop these off to see if we can actually use these suction cups here to actually as a handle brace. So we might give a review on these two when we're done. Amazon, they were about the same price, two of them from Harbor Freight from made out of plastic was. So we'll give these a try. I want a little more strength. Amazon Prime got them here in a day. But anyhow, that's our next step to get this part down. We had about ½ inch clearance on our by the time we went down the stairs and it started hitting the ceiling on the back, and this is the exact same size, but we just want to lighten it up. We're taking a little brad nailer and putting some trim around these windows. Right here on this one here, it was popped out. We pushed it back in some right here. It was actually about 3/4 of the way, so we're just going to put a little bit more strength on here. That way we don't have glass popping out. So I expected this to be a little bit, needing a little bit of work, but not really work, but I guess not to be the greatest quality because the price isn't bad. But we do want to make sure that we're getting them. Like right here, you can see this is a little spongy here. And same with this one. You can actually tell that that's going in, up and down, in and out. So let's see how this is doing. Not too bad. Throw a couple in here. And this side's not as big of a deal. Well, this is separate. Thought it was just daddled out, but you can see here it does have the nice little sill around the glass to keep the heat in, but it's screwed to the frame, so that's good. But anyway, so we'll go ahead and get this carried down. Box 2 and 3 we were able to carry down the stairs. We got a couple pieces of Luan, which I actually think would be part of it because you can see that it has the holes here. We'll have to figure out where that goes. But we usually take this, open it up so we can get some maybe a little lighter going down the stairs. So I'm pretty sure this is the ceiling because we had the overhang LED lights, the roof vent, the temp sensor, the speaker. So okay, we'll go ahead and get this picked up, carried down, then we'll be back with the next layer. Okay, so we got the ceiling down. Now we gotta get all this excess stuff, like we have the side heaters. This actually is part of the back bench. Looks like one of the bottoms in it here. Your backrest, a few other things, and we got the floor. So you can see how it's boxed. And so we'll go ahead and get this taken all down, and I don't think we need to show you much else on this box unless we do come across something special. If we do, then we'll deal with it at that time. One thing I think they could have done better is this thing has a little curve in it. I know it'll flatten out over time. The other thing I don't like about this end is I kind of wish it would have been sealed. Sanded a little bit, a couple of rough spots in here, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. It's just the fact that the floor gets a lot of wear and tear, and it'd been nice to have it sealed. So we're going to lay the floor here. We're going to put it in this unfinished room right now. This is going to be our workout room, and with a couple pieces of equipment, and we'll have this in here till we get the rest of the house done. We'll figure out where we want it then. But we're going to lay this down. We'll be back. Okay, so the first thing we have to do, we're going to start assembling the sauna now. We have the bottom. It says about 5 inches around all sides. So we're just going to put it right here in this part of the, we got a couple feet to get on either side for right now. So we're going to start with putting the back on first. Okay, so we just brought the back in. It literally just sets it down here at the bottom. You can see that toe kick, the bull nose trim. You'll see that it actually just sits right there. Line up on the edges here. And then we're going to go get the other piece as we lean this down. But that's all that's here on this piece for the assembly. Okay, so right now we're just open box 2 of 3. 2 of 3 has the side walls. So what we're going to do now is just pull these out, get it unpackaged. It looks like it's packaged pretty well. Still, I can see a couple little, things like if you look here, they could have done a little bit better on it here too. Hopefully they have a little bit of trim that will protect that, but we'll see when it's all done what we have to look at. Okay, so what we have now is this is almost in place, and it really just buckles together with these hooks here. So we're just going to line it up on that groove and buckle it up. And there's actually a tongue and groove on the very back, so it just slides. Down here we're off a little bit, so before he comes out, Ethan, I want to have you take and push the whole thing kind of towards me a little bit. The back and there we go. Now there we go. So we just tighten the gap here. We're going to do the same thing with the other side. So the left side pops in the same way. Just hook it up to the quarter round trim, and then we just hook these clips up over here. And I don't know if you can see this here, but I had a little piece of the out, so I want to make sure I kind of gently shim it in so I get the whole trim inside, and pop the clip, this one here, same thing. That's it. So now we got the next step is we got to get the side piece in for the benches before we put the front on. So we'll go ahead and get those parts and be right back. So we got the back, has to go. Right here's a sticker that says bench heater. So it's just going to slide in these grooves back here. So it's going to slide in right here. And what we have to do is make sure to plug it in, but we may have to, now we're going to have to pull the walls out just a hair to actually get our room. So I'm going to pull this back over here. Okay, so then over here, I just want to make sure we get the plug out, and then we want to make sure we get this plugged in right here. So that heater's plugged in. Then that'll go to the lights on the bench. So please hold that wall. Just gonna wiggle them in together. There we go. And then we have these ones here. Side. So this one here will be on this one. And it's the same thing. Plug them in. This is supposed to be a 120 20 amp dedicated circuit. So far, it's not too bad for the money. But the things I actually don't like is you can tell that they're putting the tongue and groove, which is real thin. And what it's doing is it's breaking off on these edges really easy. And that's the problem I've noticed so far, is that it hasn't been heavy duty enough to stop the edges from cracking on several pieces. Fortunately, all the quarter round has been able to stop it from being noticeable, but I did get a couple pretty good sized splinters in my hand from it. Okay, so we're going to grab the benches, then we'll be right back. So right now we have to put these little side panels in here. They actually go in these what they have labeled as the 50mm screws. And cedar, so it should be pretty sensitive, soft material to actually accommodate this very well. Okay, do the same with this side. Okay, so what we have here is the back bench. You see they got little LED lights here that we have to plug in, and then this will sit right to the front of that panel. So we'll go ahead and get this plugged in. So just plug and play, go ahead and step out of there. And right here is a groove. Okay, right there's a groove for the wire, so we want to make sure it stays in there. Then we got some screw holes here for the 2-inch as well. Make sure in here. Same thing, so now we have these other 2 benches. So we just want to get them plugged in so it is actually one way. Yeah. Okay, so same with this one. He'll get that popped in. We'll go ahead and I'll get these other screws in here. You guys know how to put screws in, same ones we put in the other ones. And then when we get ready to put the front on, we'll come back. Okay, so we got the front. We're going to pop it in the tongue and groove here. One thing I would like to say is we bought these on Amazon. Harbor Freight, they're about the same price Harbor Freight. We had a day to burn, so we didn't really care, didn't want to drive. These are metal. Harbor Freights are plastic. And I tell you what, they've actually worked really good about us hauling this whole thing down the stairs. Of course, we did balance here. It's carrying it. We took the main door off for extra to make it lighter, but we can lift up, and this is actually pretty easy. As far as putting this together, you can see we got the tongue here, and on this side over here we got the groove. So we just got to line those up and use those same clips to pop it together, and then we should get it close enough to square. I'm sure they made it to the top to have a little bit of play. So I can pop it right here, this clip in, and this clip within the bottom one. So there we go. If you look right here on these clips, there's a little, you might have to come from the top, like right in here. You can see that's a little hole right here. They may have came with little pins to put in there just to make sure it don't come apart. I'm not for sure. All done. Make these work. It was pretty simple. Just pop them. I've seen some pretty bad reviews on the Harbor Freight ones, and they said they were plastic and they were tweaked a little bit. Anyways, one guy on Harbor Freight said if you kind of work one on and get it kind of straight, so this one's flat, it works good. But one of the problems is these pins are all plastic and it won't work so good. But I know one thing, I made sure we cleaned these really, really good to make sure we had a good seat here. And I clean your window really good. The glass to make sure. We also tried these on some granite countertops, and it took a lot of pressure to pull it off. Almost thought my son was going to rip the counters off the ground. So for $9 a piece, I think they were a really good deal. Okay, so this is the top back. I did this a little bit ago. We're going to have to slide this on, and then we have to slide the powers through here, plug it in here. Main one through here, and it's going to plug in right here in the back. Another one here. The radio, it looks like it does actually have an antenna wire for the radio. Oh, look here, antenna, so it is FM. It didn't say that in the instructions. The other thing we have is these things. It's going to have to go in the middle. And so we don't have a lot of room. We don't have to have this on there, but it will give us a little more heat source. So we're going to try to get the best we can laid on. Then there's some holes on there for the vet. So if you get too hot, you just slide it open, which actually is an important feature of a sauna, so you can actually regulate it. This here, I believe, would be for the ozonator. I believe there's an ozonator that goes in here, has the speakers, the outer LED lights. And that's the only thing I can figure this is to be, is the ozonator. There's a sensor here, it might be to pick it up. Besides that, we're just going to make sure our top panels are kind of between this gap and the quarter top and bottom. Up in here you can see these wires. We're going to go ahead and snake them in on each side, and then we'll get the back one too. Okay, so you can see we're pushing up here. There we go, there's that one. Okay, so we came with this air freshener ozone generator. And so the big thing is, you got the little air freshener here we want to take and put in. So that goes in here, and we just push this back on. You can see there's a little bit of little tabs. And then we just take 2 little screws, hang this up in here. So with this cord, you can actually plug into here. And so we can either have it right here. I don't know if you want to come in here. Has a little label right here, so I really don't want to look at the label, so I think I'd rather have it right about in here. And of course Cedar's pretty soft, so we shouldn't have to pre-drill anything. So we have the ion button. There's the ions, and then here the O3 says if you push the oxygen ozonator side, run for about 15 minutes. I think you get a green light, then it switches the ion, which runs 60 minutes, and a red light, if I remember right. Okay, go ahead and give it a try. How's that looking there? Pretty cool. So you got the LEDs here that just flipped off. Got the LEDs down here. So I'm going to set the temperature set. So we're going to hit on, time set. So we can set the time, what we want. Outside, let's see. Oh, that's the lights out here. So if you look out here, inside, so we hit here. We got this light here on the inside side. We do got our temp sensor, the vent. So we got LED color, that's what I was kind of looking for. So every time we hit it, you can see we go a different color. Yeah, you can feel the heat starting. It's already actually getting pretty warm here. You can feel it. We don't have the door on yet. So we're not getting a lot of radio here. There's also a remote here. I'm not interested in learning about it right now. Once we do, we'll show you. Unless it has an off button for this. We'll have to hook up a phone to it or something different. I didn't see an MP3 player. Did you guys? There is this here USB port. I don't know if it's anything there, but it's done. Time frame was included making the videos. Once it was unpacked, we had about an hour and 20 minutes. So it goes together pretty fast. I'm going to say about 10 minutes running the breaker and a box, but we're only 2 foot from our power box, so who cares about that? We were fortunate on that. We just had to get a 20 amp outlet, a box, and some 12-2 wire and a 20 amp breaker. The other thing is, you might need some help carrying it down. We used the screw gun just a couple times, not often. An Allen wrench. Besides that, was about the only tools we needed, wasn't it? Oh, the nail gun, the brad nailer for the trim. Okay, if you got any questions, let us know. We appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, and let us know of any other projects you may be thinking about, because we do have a lot of them. So many of the videos, we can't get them edited fast enough. Take care.